Here's a good reminder to sellers. Keep it between the emotional navigational beacons. The lesson for the buyers, never, no never, no never go to close without a final walkthrough. I always say I'm gonna write a book one day, or I should have I should make videos about all of my real estate experiences, because I literally could fill a book at this point. I could tell you some crazy stories like, this is a good one. Okay, so this actually happened to me. Welcome to real estate. Well, in the state of Louisiana, there's certain things that remain in the home. Anything that is built into the home remains with the home, okay? So this is things like the stove, your fixtures and cabinets. Obviously, if it's attached to the house, it remains with the house. We represent the buyers, and it's not my client. I'm covering for an agent. She goes to do the final walkthrough with her clients, but she cannot go to closing. So I'm gonna go to the closing for her. And they go to the final walkthrough, and there's a very important key part of a functioning home all of a sudden missing out of this house. Now, to put this in perspective, this was not a high-end house, okay? This is just not even that nice of a house, if I'm actually being super honest. It just was a regular house, okay? And the toilet is missing, okay? Just randomly gone out of this house. So my agent calls me and says, hey, the toilet is missing in the final walkthrough. We've got to deal with that. I'm like, great, no problem. I got it. We'll figure it out. We go to closing, and I cannot remember now. I need to actually pull the file. I can't remember if we just were like, hey, the seller has to give us a credit. The seller has to put the toilet back. But it's not just putting the toilet back. It's you have to reattach it. You have to put a new seal down. You have to have a plumber put it back in. You have to make sure it all works right. So we work it out. Sellers are gone. They are not at closing with us. I'm just there with the buyer. And we are back at the title company, and all of a sudden we hear the front door of the title company's office open. And we hear this crashing noise, this ridiculously loud noise. And then we hear a door shut again. And there's nobody else in the title company but the attorney, the closer, who are in the room with us, myself, and the buyers. The attorney goes out to the foyer and says, Deborah, you might want to look at this. The sellers had opened the door and put the toilet in the middle of the title company's floor. There is a toilet in the middle of and no sellers. Just gone. So we have a toilet. We have a toilet in the middle of the title attorney's office. Got an MIA seller. They're gone. They're moving. They're gone. It was the biggest laugh. One of the craziest things I've ever seen. The new buyers took it home. They just took it home with them. Yeah, I don't know if it was a new toilet or if it's I didn't verify. I didn't open the lid to see if it was clean. It was not in a package. It wasn't in a box. So I'm assuming it was the same toilet that they took out was the one they brought back. The buyers took it and we wrapped it up and we moved on. But oh yeah, a toilet in the middle of the It's like, I have seen it all by this point in this career. It's crazy. It is crazy what I've seen. I saw the same thing happen. This time it was my client, and I represented the sellers. And they really felt like the buyers were just nickeling and diming them, and they really, really were upset. And we kept negotiating. Finally, we came to negotiations. In the contract, very clear, all kitchen appliances stay, including refrigerator, washer, dryer, dishwasher, garbage disposal, and freezer. So all spelled out. So I rep the sellers. The sellers are moving to Texas. They're moving to another state. The night before closing, they pack up the rest. They're gone. In the moving truck on the way to Texas, I'm there. I'm going to be their power of attorney. So I'm going to sign on their behalf the next day. The buyers go to do the final walkthrough. Same thing, except for that it was not a toilet, the dishwasher. The sellers had a really high-end dishwasher and just out of spite and just got really mad at the buyers and thought we wouldn't notice at the last minute, unplugged the dishwasher, took it out and on a truck to Texas. So So we go to the close. The buyer's agent pulls me aside and said, hey, there's no dishwasher, sent me a picture of it. Now, I'm power of attorney for my client, right? My client's not there to go. So I have to get my client on the phone, which all of a sudden they were very difficult to get on the phone. Basically, we stopped the closing, finally had to call the sellers and text them and say, no closing until you get back in touch with me. Because they hadn't authorized me as their power of attorney. They hadn't authorized me to give a credit or I was going to be spending their money. I didn't feel comfortable doing that without their permission. It was not in the same condition as we agreed to in the contract. So I had to wait for the sellers to call me back, tell them what happened. I said, hey, listen, you have two choices. They were not happy. I said, two choices. You can turn the truck around. You can come back. You can bring the dishwasher. And oh, by the way, you have to have it reinstalled. No problem. Or you can give them a credit. But remember, brand X that they had in their house is a high end. It was not a typical dishwasher price. The point of the story of this one is what they thought they were going to do just to, because they really didn't like the way the negotiations went. They were just kind of upset that they were what they had agreed to, and they thought nobody was going to notice it. So there's really two lessons here. Their frustration ended up costing them thousands and thousands of dollars, because remember, it was a high-end dishwasher. So I want to say it was like $6,000 for a dishwasher. It was ridiculously expensive, but it was because it was a high-end brand, so it cost them thousands of dollars. Here's a good reminder to sellers. Keep it between the emotional navigational beacons. If you've agreed to something in negotiations, don't second guess yourself at closing. Keep your contract and keep your word, because they were out even more money, which took away from their proceeds. The lesson for the buyers: never, no never, no never go to close without a final walkthrough. No matter what, no matter how smooth the transaction has been, you never know what will have happened from the last time you were in the house till closing. So never go to close without a final walkthrough. Thank goodness those buyers did a final walkthrough, because could you imagine? Anyway, so those are my two craziest appliance stories. I've got about 12 more, but those are the two that, like, those were both doozies. So. Those were on yeah. Oh my gosh, I could tell some crazy stories. Oh, okay.